Remember that there's not just two options for getting points in basketball. You can make a three-pointer, you can make a two-pointer, or you can shoot from the line, which means you got fouled and now you have 2 free throws. So Stephen Curry in 2012 went 262 for 291 from the line. And so we're trying to figure out what is the probability of him making both of his foul shots? What's the probability of only making one foul shot? And what's the probability of missing both of them? Because we're trying to figure out, is it a better option for him to just get right down there in the middle, really close to the basket, and end up getting fouled and getting a penalty shot for it? So what's the probability of making both of the foul shots? Well, he made 262 out of 291. So if we divide that, it actually comes out to about 0.9. So he has a 0.9% chance of making one of his foul shots. So if you remember to figure out the probability of two things happening, two independent things happening in a row, and we're going to just assume that these are independent because it's too complicated otherwise, but the reality is that they may not be independent, right? I mean, how many of you have ever missed your first foul shot? It really messes with your head, and you maybe miss your second one, even though you could have made it otherwise. So we're just assuming they're independent. So the probability of making the first is 0.9, and now the probability of making the second is also 0.9. So we can multiply those two probabilities together, and the probability of making both of them is 0.81. So about 81% chance that he'll make both of his foul shots. What's the probability that he only makes one? Well, the probability of making one of them, the first one, is 0.9. And the probability of missing the second one is 0.1, right? Because that's the complement of the probability of making it. So the opposite of making it is not making it. So this is 0.09, which is about 9% chance. And you might think we're done there, but we're not, because what about the other way around? What if he misses the first one and makes the second one? That is actually a different combination. So that also has a 0.09% chance of happening. So we have 0.18% chance that he's going to at least make the first one or the second one. Now, what's our probability that he misses both of them? That would be 0.1 times 0.1, which is 0.01. Now let's add these all up together and make sure that we get, let's see, 81 plus 18 plus 1 is 100. So perfect. We found all the probabilities. They should add up to 100% chance because one of these three things is going to happen. So now let's calculate the expected value of the trip to the foul line. Okay, so what is the expected value? Well, 81% of the time he's going to get 2 points. So our expected value is going to be 0.81 times 2 plus, and then 0.18, 18% of the time he's going to make 1 point, and then 1% of the time he's going to make 0 points. So what is the actual expected value? How many points do we average? This is basically a weighted mean for his trip to the foul line. So let's do that. I'll do it on a calculator you guys can see. So we have 0.81 times 2 plus 0.18 times 1 plus 0. So it's 1.8. So he's going to average 1.8 points for every single time he shoots at the foul line. So the question now is, our expected value for the foul line is 1.8 for him because he went 262 for 291 at his free throws. Which one is the best option for him? So which one should he be taking? If you were a coach, what would you tell him to do? Let's see. Oh, that's Friday. Let's go back. Okay, so here's our other ones, 1.36 and 0.898. So his three-pointers were 1.36 and his two-pointers were 0.898. So every time, oh, you can't see that. Let me go and that down. Every time he takes a three-point shot, he gets 1.36 points. Every time he takes a two-point shot, he makes 0.898 points, and every time he goes to the foul line, he gets 1.8 points. So what do you think he should do? Well, he should get fouled. You know, he should try for that 2-pointer and be totally fine if he gets fouled, because he's going to make so many of those. So his first choice would be to get a foul, because every one of those has the highest chance, or the highest number of points that he's going to get. And then the second choice would be shooting a 3-pointer, and then the third choice would be shooting a 2-pointer for this specific athlete. Now let's look at the other athletes. Go ahead and fill in the information for the other ones and decide, what should they do? Should they be trying to get fouled, or should they be going for 3-pointers or 2-pointers based on the expected number of points that they would get for each of those shots?